Hey family, Spiritual Wondress here. Coming to you guys to just have more real talk and talk about something I feel like could use some talking about. And guys, that is for chosen ones out there especially, or even I guess the societal kind of outcast, black sheep, loners, lone wolves, you know, my people like me. They just don't follow the crowd. They don't have that hive mind mentality, okay? They like to separate themselves so they can see from a perspective that the group amongst each other cannot see, because they're not seeing from an outside perspective, because they are enmeshed with one another. Energy is contagious. You know, like attracts like. Your vibe attracts your tribe. Like, you know, we know how this works energy-wise, right? You get my point here. So, this is kind of why I can be a very social person. I enjoy connection, stuff like that, but I will always value more than anything my solitude, because in my solitude I can discern what's my energy, what's my truth, compared to when I'm deeply enmeshed with other people. I tend to absorb their thoughts, their energy. It does influence us. And so solitude's very important for me. I used to hate being this outside weirdo that doesn't exactly fit in with everybody. Now I appreciate it, because now I recognize it's giving me this advantage and able to see stuff that group can't necessarily see, and that should be aware of what the outsider is witnessing, right? And but when you do that, guys, when you choose to stay that role of the outsider, which is a necessary role for all that want to evolve and ascend consciously, we need one of these in our tribe, right? We need one. They're a necessity. But when you take that role as, let's say, not just the family black sheep, but your tribe's black sheep, when you take that role, you're going to get critiqued like no other. You know, you can be the most supportive person in the world and encourage others, and when they start stepping out, let's say they're struggling with confidence and showing their face to the world. They're used to doing their readings or whatever they do online behind a camera, not showing them. Like, they have confidence issues in their appearance. I'm gonna use this as an example, guys, okay? People that have confidence issues, that have to work on them, they will hate people that naturally exude confidence. And the ironic part with it is that if you happen to be the tribal black sheep that stands apart from the rest and is trying to bring awareness to how these things are happening, you see something going on here that the hive group mentality can't see. People aren't going to like you. You got to be okay with that. And if you naturally exude confidence, which I feel like I do, people have told me I do, which is, it's not from an outside perspective. Granted, I do recognize that people think I'm attractive, all of that. My confidence stems from who I am internally. Who I am internally. How much work I have done on myself. How deeply I know the real, genuine, authentic me. Took years of work, guys. Years of painful getting sober and clean and just, who the hell am I? Doing deep digging, trauma work, like decade of my life. Misery. But I did the hard work, and it's the collateral beauty is I'm where I'm at now. And so there is collateral beauty through all of our suffering. Don't get me wrong, there is payoff. But even to this day, you know, I get criticized by this spiritual hive mentality. They're all amongst each other. I still get criticized very deeply. And I get a lot of them actually try to bring my confidence down because they think my confidence is on an outside perspective. And there's a million beautiful women out there. Way younger, way thinner, all of those things, guys. You know, if you want to judge yourself like that, you can always find somebody better than you. That's not what it's about. These people are confused on where true confidence stems from. For me, so many years of my journey, I hated myself. I didn't think I was pretty. I didn't think, like, I looked very down on myself because, you know, that was my trauma upbringing, my childhood. I had a really abusive childhood. I was always criticized, never complimented. I think that played a big role in it, and why I went on this journey, this path, to really get to the root cause of where my issues were coming from. And that's, you know, what I discovered there. But still, even to this day, like, people will try to paint me a certain way when it's not even the case. They have no idea what they're talking about. And from their perspective, they're just seeing somebody whose light is irritating their demons. They have work to do within themselves. And so it's just much easier to demonize you and make you the bad person if you are the tribal black sheep. Every group, every tribe needs one. The scapegoat. To critique and point fingers at and say, don't be like that. Because they're not part of the group. And they'll make you grow in ways the group is not ready to face and prepare for. So if you take on this role, if you've been, you know, on a soul level, I believe we take on certain roles. We signed up for it. If you happen to be like me and signed up for this particular role, people are going to try to tear you down. They're going to try to just tear you down in any and every way possible, while they're going to act like they're the most holy, righteous, greatest thing on planet Earth. They will always demonize you and find something wrong with you. And you got to learn to be okay with that. Because here's the thing. What's going to get you through it is confidence. Not in the outside ego confidence, but soul, true, genuine, authentic soul confidence. You know who you are. You've suffered tremendously. You've put in the hard work of shadow work and facing your demons and conquering your dragons. Things that most people are absolutely terrified to do. You've done it. You've faced the darkest of your psyche that most people have a panic attack even thinking about, letting their mind drift to those places. You've done it. You've conquered it. Nothing really scares you anymore. You know, anything that comes your way, you can get through it. And ironically, because you are the societal black sheep, the one that's always picked upon and critiqued and targeted, it made you develop that soul confidence. Think about that. Ironically. You know, when you operate out of that, you know who you are. You don't need other people to try to tell you who you are and what you lack, what you know, what's wrong with you, all of those things. You know who you are. You accept who you are. You accept your flaws. You accept your darkness. You accept your light. And you love yourself. You gotta be that way if you're taking on this role, guys. And you gotta be okay with people not liking the fact that you are on the outside looking in and showing the group hive mentality what they're doing wrong. They're not gonna like it. And they're going to point fingers at you instead, because it's much easier than sitting down and doing the self-reflection work that's you're telling them needs to be done. So I'm just saying, part of the game, if you play this role, is people are just going to mislabel you, critique you, and not see where you're coming from. Genuine goodness and just wanting the best for all.